First, the parents of a young man who died at Southmead Hospital in Bristol say they welcome a new independent examination of their son's care after accusing the NHS of covering up his death.
18-year-old Oliver McGowan died after being given a drug he was allergic to. Our health correspondent Matthew Hill reports.
Hello, this is day one of the 22 press-up challenge. I've got to do this for 22 days.
Oliver McGowan was young and physically fit, but he was also autistic with a mild learning disability. Even though his care notes clearly stated that he was allergic to antipsychotics, he was given them whilst being treated at Southmead Hospital. The drugs caused his brain to swell severely and he died in intensive care. His inquest found that there were no failings and therefore no lessons to be learned. But Oliver's parents then obtained a report carried out by the local Clinical Commissioning Group, or CCG, which found that his death was potentially avoidable. But after intervention by CCG staff, a new report was written and this box left blank, deferring to the conclusion of the coroner. Oliver's parents then used the Freedom of Information Act to access emails between staff discussing changes to the report. One says, "I have endeavoured to remove anything that seems to indicate any sort of blame. When you're happy, I will send it to the lawyer." The next day, another senior manager said the question about whether Oliver's death was avoidable should be removed and is really not appropriate. The NHS has today announced that England's Medical Director for Professional Leadership and Clinical Effectiveness will oversee the new review of Oliver's death. The CCG has declined our request for an interview, but in a statement says it will fully participate with the independent review. It says it deeply regrets that the McGowan family's experience of the mortality review has been so unsatisfactory and distressing, and says it's already shared its concerns about the whole process with the national team. Speaking from Australia, his parents have welcomed the news.
I think it's horrific, the journey we've been on, to have got to this stage, you know, to have a CCG and a Freedom of Information finding out all of the, well, let's say, lies.
And unfortunately, we've had to employ solicitors to engage with NHS solicitors to drive them to this position we're in now, which is, we shouldn't have to work this hard.
But they hope the NHS will learn lessons on the importance of carrying out an independent review into any death involving adults with learning disabilities. Matthew Hill, BBC Points West, Bristol.